Hello, you guys. So I know the title is a little bit clickbaity, and maybe it is a little bit clickbaity, but it's actually also a little bit true. I've been talking about this with somebody who is a new subscriber of mine turned into friend. And yes, I got permission from her to make a video out of this. I specifically asked her if it would be okay. Uh, and First, let me kind of, for those of you guys who may be new to my channel or just haven't watched that many of my videos, let me first reiterate that when I was in my early 20s, I probably would have been somebody that would have been considered attractive. And, I was going to the gym a lot. And at that time, in my early 20s, probably somewhere between the age of like 19 to 23, maybe even 24, although 24, nah, maybe to like 23. I was going to the clubs. I was, taking part in Pride Parade. It was also probably the most promiscuous time in my life. Uh, don't really want to go into why that was. Uh, that's something I've talked about in different videos. And I just was like somebody who I would say was very cliche uh, gay person. Cared a lot about how my body looked, cared a lot about what I dressed, cared a lot about, fashion and I don't know, mean girls and being catty and going to the club and, you know, whatever the other gay cliches are. And at the same time, I also have to say though that I'm old enough now that yes, I was already around before gay marriage became legal in the West, and I even marched for gay marriage when I was a student at UCLA. Uh, so I definitely remember a time when being gay was actually still a struggle, okay? Or we were still fighting for something. And as I've said many and many of my videos, for me, the fight is over. I wanted equality under the law. I got equality under the law in the West, and for me, the fight is over. Now, do I need to continue going on protests and putting out nasty Twitter and Instagram posts about how hard it is to be gay just because there's people out there in the world who don't approve of my lifestyle? No, I don't feel that way. People are entitled to feel however they feel as long as they don't actively hurt me. And I'm sorry, I don't think somebody saying that they don't approve of homosexuality, I'm like, oh, my feelings are hurt. I know that in 2021, feelings have become the most important thing at all. Like rationale out the window, logic out the window, actually being physically hurt out the window. It doesn't matter. But if somebody's feelings are hurt, stop it all. Stop, 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 stop. You hurt someone's feelings. The world is coming to an end. This person's feelings were hurt. We have to acknowledge that. We have to apologize. We have to pay restitutions because feelings are the most important thing under the sun. So of course I don't believe in any of that stuff. Of course, like you should try to be as sensitive as you can, and you shouldn't give unsolicited advice. I absolutely agree with that too. Unless I ask you, do you like gay people? I don't need to hear you tell me that no, I don't like gay people or whatever, because then you're just being mean spirited for no reason. Anyway, not the point. So the thing is, like, I'm talking to this new subscriber, and her and I, we've had things that, of course, we agree on and things we don't agree on. And one thing is, she found my channel through my review of the book A Little Life, which is very, very loved among gay men. And I, of course, thought it was complete garbage. It's probably my most watched book review video of all time, just because I kind of went against the grain. Uh, but how it is in 2021. If a gay person writes a book, or a gay person is in a show, or a gay person says something, or a black person is in a show, or makes a song, or you know a gender neutral tree person does something, then fabulous, fabulous, fabulous. Doesn't matter. Spelling mistakes, doesn't matter, doesn't matter. You're gay. Good job, good job. You win against the straight white man and were able to publish a book. Congratulations, congratulations. And, and then of course I was like, it's a bad book. I mean, this is not a good book. The writing is really great, but the book is not good. So anyways, she found me through this, and I'm trying to figure out how to say this. She said I could be as honest as I wanted to be, but at the same time, I do respect her opinions a lot, and we've had some really good debates. And I have to say, in general, I'm actually always very flabbergasted by my subscribers. Even if they don't agree with me, I think the vast, vast majority of them are very articulate and have some really good feedback and comments, even if it's contrary to my own. It doesn't mean it will change my opinion, but I do read them and I do listen. So I just don't want to say anything in a way that I think she'll take the wrong way. But basically, like, in 2021, maybe even a little bit earlier, around 2019, maybe around 2015 even, when the world started going crazy and, everything was just about social justice warriors, and black people are better than white people, and gay people are better than straight people, and women are better than men, and the best thing you could possibly be is to be a transgender tree black person who's quadriplegic with Down syndrome and questioning their gender or some crap like that. Like that, then you'd be at the pinnacle of the oppression Olympics, and everybody hail you. We being gay and being part, and this is like, and she actually put it like that. She's kind of like, being gay is actually kind of fashionable now, which I agree. I would say, just in general, being part of the LGBTQ 7755 squared pi XX minus sign group that is now whatever we are, is become like this fashionable thing. And it's kind of one of those things that her and I have debated about a lot, because I think she has very, very good intentions with the fact that she is very supportive of the gay community, that she often tells me, I should be more proud of being gay, or that she likes a lot of gay culture things, or even just saying things like, oh, gay people are amazing, or gay people are fabulous, or whatever. And I don't think she is somebody who is alone in this thinking anymore, because it, like she even said, it's become like a fashionable thing. And here's where I'm really kind of more so now. I'm a very comfortable gay man. I was very comfortable with my sexuality probably around the age of 22, 23. I was like, okay, gay through and through, it's fine. Was very honest with my thing. I don't go around parading it. I don't wear gay pride shirts or whatever. But if somebody asks or something, I'm not going to lie. I'm not ashamed of it by no means. But now that it's become fashionable, I feel like I have a resurgence of a feeling of shame to being gay. And that was kind of what her and I were talking about today. And what I said to her, I was like, there is a difference to me. There's a huge difference to me between acceptance and promotion. Yes, I am very glad that gay people are increasingly becoming accepted in society, meaning we can be honest about being gay at work without repercussions. We can, we can walk down the street maybe holding hands with our significant other without repercussions, etc. Of course, I'm very thankful for that. But to me, that is a very different thing than this weird promotion of LGBTQ 72 minus colon space under bar whatever people now. It's like they have to be in TV. They have to be in books. They have to be in every commercial. And now we're even seeing it like they've already brought up so many videos now of like now teachers getting fired because they're talking about what gender they are with their students, what their sexuality is. They have gay pride flags in the classroom. And I'm like, this has nothing to do with acceptance anymore. This is actually promotion. This is actually like pushing an agenda. And I don't agree with that. And I don't need that. I don't understand where this, and actually in what I said to her, I was like, to me, it's actually not even borderline. To me, it's full on offensive. I want to be accepted and I want to be respected and I want to be liked for being Marcus, which means my character, my actions, my hard work, my dedication, my dignity, my integrity, my thoughts, my opinions, the way I carry myself. These are things that I want to be respected. I don't want somebody to be like, oh, wow, you're gay, sweet, cool, we can be friends. It's like, you want to be friends with me because I'm gay, or you want to promote me because I'm gay, or you want to say that something is amazing about me because I'm gay? Like, to me, that is so offensive. I, you're bringing people in minority groups, and this is not something that's only happening with gay people, because black people are fabulous and lesbians are fabulous and trans people are fabulous and women are fabulous and Muslims are fabulous and everybody, as long as you're not straight white male, you're fabulous and we have to promote you and we have to put you on every TV. And I'm like, this to me is this is fetishizing us, and it's degrading. Like, I've said this in so many of my videos, my being gay is neither here nor there. I want equality under the law. Boom. I'm done. That's all I want. I don't want to be celebrated because I'm gay. Like, that is, to me, it really is. Like, I'm not sure exactly how to bring this point across, but I'm like, to celebrate people for characteristics that they can't control, I think is not only offensive, but it's also silly. I can't control being gay. I can't control being male. I can't control being white. And I don't think any of those things should be celebrated. I don't think you should be celebrated for being a woman. That just happened to be the genetic code that you were raised with. Like, you're a woman. Encore, you're a woman. You bleed once a month. Oh, fabulous. I mean, it's offensive. I mean, like, there's so much more to us as people than our race or our sex or who we want to sleep with. Like, so it's like, so anyway, what I'm saying is, what am I saying? So anyway, like, her and I've had this debate a couple of times already, or not debate, like talk, because she is very supportive of the gay community. And one of the things I found is like, and I'm always pushing against it, because as you guys know, my channel started off with me criticizing the gay community. I find none, like maybe like this much of a smidgen of where I overlap in terms of what my beliefs are in the way the world should be run, in the social climate, in politics, with the gay community. I don't identify with the gay community at all, and they to me are not my community whatsoever. If I had to be part of any community, I'd be like a community of maybe readers, of travelers. I'd like to say of intellectuals. I'm probably gonna get burned for like, no, you're not. You're stupid. You have stupid ideas. But the gay community does not speak for me whatsoever. And so when she's trying to support the community, I think that one of the internal issues I have with it is, like I already said, first of all, I don't think we should celebrate things that are, there's a word and I can't think of it, like that are just natural to us. I don't think there should be gay month or black month or whatever. Like, I just don't think, like, we should be celebrating people for their accomplishments, for how much they volunteer, for how hardworking they were, for how many inventions they created that created social change, for, bringing laws into place that helped people, like for saving a life. Like, these are things that we should celebrate people for. We shouldn't celebrate people for indemnable characteristics. What is the word I'm looking for? Um, and the other thing is, and this is where it gets even more. I hope you guys stuck around for this because this is where it really. This is what I'm kind of like. I push back so hard on her when she comes to this topic, and I was like, and the bigger problem to me is when it comes, especially, I don't want to speak for the Black community or women or whatever, but I am by default part of the gay community, and like I said, as long as I've had my channel, even before that, I've been pushing back so hard on so many of the cliche and negative behaviors within the gay community. And those are exactly the things that in 2021 and maybe even a little bit earlier have become the things that are fashionable and are cool. And it's kind of like, it's like, I'm a slut. I'm totally promiscuous. I have sex with so many different people. I don't even know their names. I got it from the gay community. I'm super shallow and I only care about a six pack and having a great body and I'm constantly on a diet. Have you heard of keto? I refuse to eat carbs. I dress up as a woman and that's how I parade around and I'm a mockery to real women and I'm just super fabulous and all I care about is fashion and I know all the newest fashion brands. You're great. Congratulations. I'm like, all these things are so shallow and so ridiculous and actually so hurt. They actually, in the long run, are so hurting the gay community and they just get pushed and pushed and pushed by the media. And the thing is, like, do I think you should be ashamed of the fact that you're a sexual person? No. Do I think you should be ashamed of the fact that you like fashion? No. These are all things, but it's kind of like, but or fetishes. Oh my God. You're like, oh, you dress up as a dog on a leash and walk around with your dick hanging out? Oh, amazing. Encore. Let somebody spank you. Oh, let somebody piss on you on the street. Amazing. Gay people, I love them. Oh, great gay people. Like, I'm like, if we celebrated the aspects of gay culture as far as it exists that I think would be beneficial to us in the long run, I would feel very differently about the fact that being gay has become fashionable. It is great that, I do think like being a drag queen or something, there is a certain amount of creativity to it, even though now the more I think about like the transition stuff, the more I'm wondering how I feel about drag queens as well. But I would say there's some creativity. I think there's also some creativity to fashion, and I do think if you put in a lot of hard work and dedication into having a nice body, you definitely shouldn't be ashamed of it. And that's something to be proud of because God knows I don't have that willpower. But this hyper focus on these aspects and the celebration of it, that is where you lose me. I'm kind of like, those are not things that should be celebrated, especially not when there is this huge plethora of human characteristics that are so much more important, like kindness, like awareness, like being politically active, like being socially responsible, like being intelligent, like being well educated, like volunteering for like helping people out. These are way more important aspects at the end of the day than whether or not you have a 9-inch dick and a six pack, and you wear Louis Versace or whatever it's called, like it's just so it's to me it's just really it's just offensive. It's just offensive. Like I don't need this. I don't need to be celebrated. I don't need people to tell me I'm great because I'm gay. Because being gay does not make me great or bad or good or indifferent or anything. Like it just is what it is. Um, and then the last thing I want to say, and this is something else Ron and I have talked about, is kind of like, and the fact, and I feel like actually being gay is now already almost at the end of being fashionable. Because as we're seeing now with the younger generation, we are now seeing so many more people, and this is one thing where I actually have gotten upset with her, and I told her I don't want her to say this word around because she uses the word queer, and I was like, I don't like the word queer. I don't like the word queer because to me, in my head, First of all, queer comes from the word strange and weird, and I'm like, I'm not strange and I'm not weird. I don't want to be referred to that. But also to me, the word queer has been stolen by heterosexual young people who have no reason to be oppressed, have no reason to be victimized, but somehow want to latch on to a group that is victimized. And like nowadays everybody's queer. Everybody's queer. It's like all the celebrities are coming out as queer. And I'm like, what does that even mean? It's like, well, I'm a woman. I identify as a woman. I sleep with men. I'm white. I'm rich. Oh, but I'm queer. You're queer. Why? Because because you wear eyeshadow up above your eyebrow. Brave. So brave. Oh my gosh. Give this woman an award. I mean, like, I'm thinking of that. What's that woman? Demi something? Demi Lovato. I'm thinking of her, and I'm like, just because you have a mullet does not make you queer. It's just, I hate that term, and I hate how it's been taken and that's actually now what I think is the next step of what is fashionable. And I actually feel like that is actually almost, again, a mockery of the gays, bisexual, and lesbians, and to some degree the people who are truly trans, who have had to deal with true oppression for now this new generation of heterosexual middle-class kids to come around and have some weird makeup and, weird piercings and and lop off their boobs and they'll be like, I'm queer, gender non-conforming, and like, and I just remember I was saying, because this is what I said to her. Can't believe I forgot. Hopefully you guys are still watching. I was like, in 2021, this is what I think is the most funny aspect about this overall, that in 2021 there is still a lot of people in the Western world who think being part of the LGBF 7725 dash, turn on, turn off, up, down, left, right, C, S plus plus, whatever we all are, being part of that is actually counter culture, or in some way, shape, or form makes you unique. It has become even the fact that, like, how can you say that something is fashion and then at the same time think that it's counterculture? I'm not saying this is specifically her thinking this way, but that is the way a lot of these young people think. It's like they're aware of the fact that it's fashionable. They all got their pink and green and orange mullets, and they all have their 20,000 piercings, and they're like, they put on loose wearing men's clothes and they're like, I'm gender neutral now, I'm not a woman. I'm like, okay, and I'm like, it's like, if something is fashion, it's automatically not counterculture. It's not counterculture. Being gay, lesbian, trans was stopped being counterculture probably around 2010. It's not counterculture anymore. Nowadays, to be counterculture, you have to be, or you are, normal. Normal is counterculture in this day and age. To actually have a brain and be like, no, there's two sexes. No, men cannot become women and women cannot become men. No, there's no such thing as a female penis. Like, she's gonna get mad at me. She said she wouldn't get mad at me, but she's gonna get mad at me for this video. Yeah, and I actually think that's what I'm saying. Like, I think being gay is actually already almost, because now there's a lot of friction between like gay, lesbians, and the trans community, and we of course know that trans people are more important and more oppressed and better than gay people are. And if you're gender non-binary, tree, chair, munchkin, half floor, whatever, then of course you're even more oppressed and like. None of this has anything to do with me. And if you happen to be a straight viewer of mine, please don't associate me with any of that garbage, any of that nonsense. Like, to me, that is all. That none of that has anything to do with being gay or lesbian. To me, in the naive world that I still live in, to me, being gay means one thing. I am a man who is attracted to men. That is it. That is all it means. That is all it means. It doesn't mean that I go to fetish parades. It doesn't mean I want to be dressed up as like a dog or as a little girl or want to be put into a diaper or want to be spanked or want to pee on people in public. It doesn't mean that I go to school, like as you guys know, I'm a teacher. I don't go to school and tell my students that there's 7,000 genders and they have to be careful with pronouns. Like, I don't, like, none of that speaks for me. And none of it ever has. And that is, I think, why I react so strongly to this, because minority groups are in a very, one thing where minority groups just happen to be in a different situation than the majority is that when somebody in that belongs to the majority, let's say straight white men, if a straight white man does a certain thing, or let's say at least that's the way it used to be prior to like 2015, if a straight white man did something, like let's say they were into fetish, they wanted to be dressed up as a little puppy and spanked or whatever, nobody would then go, oh, that's the way all straight white men must be. But all it takes is one or two literally off the bean gay men who are into these weird things to make people who aren't maybe exposed to a lot of gay people think, oh wait, is that the way gay people are? Like, oh, like look at the way he's walking around, look at the way he's acting, like, oh, you know what I mean? And again, there's something to be said that society has to be tolerant up to a certain point. And this is, I guess this is where it gets really into that gray area, which I admit is difficult, and like who gets to decide. It's like at what point, to which point does society have to be tolerant? And at which point are certain people just acting obnoxious to solicit reactions out of people? And this is always where I'm personally, I guess it has to kind of be like a base to base situation kind of thing. You know, like, do I think two men should be allowed to walk down the street holding hands without being harassed? I do. Do I think a man who completely presents as a man but decides to wear high hooker heels deserves to not be harassed? I don't know. Not beaten, not hurt, of course, never. Nobody has the right to touch you, to hurt you, to beat you, to, whatever. No, never, 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 never. Doesn't matter what you're wearing, what you're doing. People don't have the right to lay their hand on you. But if you're walking around like that, I just will not be able to believe that somebody who walks around like that is not doing it because of the fact that they know they elicit that kind of reaction. And to me, that then comes back to being selfish and to being rude. You should not want to make other people feel uncomfortable. And if that is your MO, if that's the reason why you dye your hair 17 colors and have piercings all over your face, and have like one high heel shoe on and one sneaker and half your shirt is cut off and 6 different thousand types of makeup on your face, and then you go into a Starbucks and people look at you and you're like, oh, these people are oppressing me. My feelings. I'm a queer, non-gender tree frog. How dare they? And I'm like, you really want sympathy for that? Like, I'm sorry, I'm running a little low on sympathy when it comes to stuff like that. Like, you're obviously doing it to get a reaction, and then you get a reaction, and then you complain. I mean, like, I don't know. I think this kind of video has gone kind of all over the place. Point is, I don't agree with the fact that being a minority and being a victim and being oppressed is a fashionable thing, to where people are now actually going out of their way to figure out ways to be oppressed, and especially by creating such a thing as being queer or whatever. I mean, like, we have people now who are lying about their race because they want to get oppression points. Like, it's kind of like, this is where we've headed in 2021. I mean, like, I always say like the road to hell is paved with good intentions. It's like we wanted to originally kind of it started off with like, yes, let's help gay people achieve equal rights, which I 100% believe in. I 100% believe gay people should have the right to get married, gay people should have the right to adopt, gay people should be protected from being fired for being gay, people should be allowed to serve in the military. Like all of these things under the law, great. Same for women, same for black people, and even same for trans people as long as it doesn't hurt women. Um, Totally cool with that. But I think it's like like I said, like we took all of these movements and we butchered them. The road to hell is paved with good intentions. I would have to say it like a million times. It's like it started off with, hey, these people are oppressed. They've been historically oppressed. Let's give them equal rights. Now they have equal rights, and now they've got to show what they can do. It's like, hey, look, we made you equal under the law. Now prove yourself to us. Which that's the way I always said I think it should be done. I don't think black people or gay people or women should be exempt from working hard to get to where they want to go. No, but that was the next step, and it was all of a sudden like, well, now we have to give extra points and applications for black people, and extra points for gay people, and we have to have hiring quotas for gay people, and now we have to have so and so many gay people on TV, and so many black people on TV, and so many trans people on TV, and so many commercials have to be about trans people, and now we actually have to start identifying as trans and queer and whatever, even if we're not, because let's make these people more comfortable. And all it did to me is made me less comfortable. I am less comfortable than ever in society because I'm like, what's this all got to do with me? like this is, I don't need your extra points. I am smart enough and hardworking enough. I can get the job I want without the two extra points for being gay. I can get into the university I want. And the same thing goes, in my belief, goes for black people and Asian people and Muslim people. Like, rather than insult us by saying, "Oh, you're kind of too dumb and kind of too untalented to make it on your own, so we're going to give you privilege points, because that's the only way you can achieve anything." Okay, I mean, like if anything at all, that is actually to me more homophobic and racist and sexist. It's kind of, I mean, I don't know. I could go on forever and ever, but suffice it to say, no. And happy holidays.